What's up, everyone? This is Tanaka of Wish4Fish, giving you tips, bringing you on adventures, and taking you on the water. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I target big fish, but not only that, how I safely fight them, land them, as well as take a picture. So there were a couple things on my trip that I saw on the water that I thought I should address. One of the things that I saw when I was out there were people that weren't fighting the fish correctly, and I saw way too many people fighting a 16-inch fish for entirely too long. And that was usually because they just weren't applying enough pressure or the correct pressure on the fish, and they were also standing in the middle of the river with their arms straight up in the air. And you can avoid that by applying side pressure on the fish. Now, a great place to start looking for big fish are places that aren't easy accessible. I'm talking about between the trees, under the branch, or over the log, or even under the log. These places aren't wadeable, they don't have boat access, and these big fish feel comfortable there because it's just undisturbed water. Now, in this example, I had to throw a reach cast in between two trees and let it go under a branch for him to take this fly. And once he took the fly, I put on side pressure to the right immediately. I didn't have the rod tip over my head. You also notice that I went from the middle of the river towards the bank, and that's so that I could get out of the current, I get the fish out of the current, and it's much easier to manage the fish as well as land it in shallow water and out of the current. You also notice that I put a lot of side pressure to the right. That's because I'm trying to turn the fish's head towards the right and use the current to my advantage. So the current will actually push the fish towards the bank if I'm using side pressure to the right. Now, I could have brought this fish in much quicker if I didn't bring the fish to the reel. I just wanted to get the excess line out of the water because a big fish like this could have easily surged on me, and I've lost fish like that with the line getting wrapped around my net. Now, I did bring the fly line in all the way in. I didn't want to bring the line actually through the guides, so I had to bring it over my head at that point to get him close enough. But you notice that when he starts bulldogging me, I hold my ground and I just put a lot of side pressure to the right. You notice that even my rod tip is in the water, and I hold my ground and I'm able to land this fish in 1 minute and 13 seconds. So another thing that I noticed when I was out there were people mishandling fish after they caught it. And that was usually by walking around with the fish outside of the water in the net, or even dealing with the fly or trying to get the fly out of the fish's mouth outside of the water in the net. And those are things that you could have easily avoid by keeping the fish in the water. Now, you notice in some of these clips that I will be walking with the fish in the water the entire time, and I will not take the fish out of the water even when I'm dealing with the fly until the point where I take a picture. Look, I get it. You want to take a picture of this fish that you just caught, but there is a safe and proper way to do it. The way that I do it is that I don't even take a picture. I just take a video in 4K and I take a still of one of those frames. Now, obviously not everyone can do that, but nowadays, every phone has a timer, a 3-second timer, or a 5-second timer, or a 10-second timer, and there's a proper way to do that as well. Have the fish in the water and get ready to take the photo, and soon as this person that's taking the photo or a timer is ready, you pop it up, and boom, you have your shot. And it's very simple and very safe. Now, you could see, for an example, I have the fish out for 5 seconds, and that's all it takes to capture a very nice photo. Another thing that I saw when I was out there were people fumbling around with their net. And if it wasn't, they couldn't get it out of their belt, or they couldn't get it out behind their pack, or once they got it into the net, they had a hard time dealing with the rod and all this, the flies, holding the net. And so that's why I use a net retractor. I've been using this exact same gear keeper for 7 years now, and it's great. You notice that it's completely out of the way, and as soon as I need to use it to net the fish, boom, simple as that. And the good thing about the gear keeper is that I could lock it, so then I don't have to fight the retraction, so it stays in place. So after I net the fish, I usually just lock it and let it just sit in the water while I'm dealing with everything. It's super simple. Now, when it comes to taking that photo, right now I am using the new Sony RXO Mark II. This thing is an absolute beast. Not only is it tiny, but it's waterproof, crush proof, and also drop proof up to 6 feet. And most importantly, it has a selfie screen. So obviously you need to see what's in frame, and to get that photo, especially when you're by yourself, is very important. For tripods, I'm using the Gorilla Pod. This is by Joby, and this is the heavy duty one. And most importantly, it has the quick release adapter on it. And I'm able to put this onto my camera and just slap it on when I need to, and then just put the tripod back in my bag when I'm not using it. And the reason why I use this is because, you know, usually it's on a rock or a bank, and you could really get, you could really put this thing anywhere and attach it to the side of the boat. You could put it on a tree limb if you have to. It's a fantastic tripod. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Now, everything that I talked about, I will have a link in the description box below so you can check it out yourself. If you like what you saw, please do like, share, or comment below. Check out our website at wish4fish.com. And if you're on social media, give us a follow at Wish4Fish. And I'll see you on the water.